So here's part 2 to that thought of use versus misuse. So this is people in general. Let's use females as an example of this. Some people see that I have a certain level of clout. I have a certain level of access to resources. And then there's some people who know that just by being associated with me, that they're going to have access to certain things, or even certain people are going to look out for them or do a little extra for them on the strength of my name. So you have a lot of people who they're using my name, real talk, like a credit card around this city. My name extends and my value extends beyond this city. But they're stuck in a lower paradigm. They don't understand that. And their world doesn't expand far enough to understand that it's beyond just this city. So let me give an example, a real life example. And I want to say this before I go into the example. It's not what I can do for you. It's what you can do for yourself with the resources. Either the resource of maybe I do something for you. Or maybe you're just using the resource of you being associated with me. And I have no problem with that as long as someone isn't misusing that association. So a lot of times, and this just go for male and female in general, people think that it's about what I can do, and when they have an idea or they want something done or they need something done, because sometimes it's a legit need, and they can't see it no further than what I can physically do, to the point where they obligate me to do something. And if it's something beyond what they can or they're able to do or want to do, then they'll try to put a whole burden of a whole situation on my shoulders. I'm not a people pleaser. I am a person who I like to, I help people. Sometimes I do it from a point of people pleasing mode, which I had to totally stop operating from that way of thinking. So they get frustrated because I can't or don't want to take on whatever burden or whatever they need or want me to do. And a lot of times it may be a legitimate need. I don't have time, nor will I ever take my time to explain to people that I have things to do, that I am stressed, TF, the FUCK, out. People will see whatever they see, and they can't understand no further than when you hit record on the phone or the camera and you posting on social media, and they can't understand that you're only getting, out of 24 hours, you're getting maybe 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 an hour at best, at most, out of a whole 24-hour day of a person. Or even that might be the only video for the whole week. And you only got that little snippet. Not understanding that not everybody broadcasts their life for real. Not everybody will even understand my life. Not that I'm trying to explain it or show it. I really just use social media as a marketing tool. I come on here to connect with people, and I share information. That is my penance in life. I share some things that I know. I no longer, it's been decades since I did spiritual counseling. And now that we have social media and I don't have to really firsthand engage people, I could say some things that I know that may be helpful. And then there are some people, they'll not acknowledge that they're getting something on they have some need that I'm fulfilling even by sharing my story. And some people may look at it as a fact of I'm saying too much and I'm making myself look bad, which none of this matters. They're looking at life from their paradigm. I don't need anybody to acknowledge what they're getting from what I'm doing. This is a penance I'm paying. This is a universal rent, how they say rent that I'm paying to live on this universe. And being on social media is so much better and so much easier than dealing with people in real life. So now that I'm on social media and I've accomplished a lot of things that I needed to accomplish, now I'm able to do what I wanted to do when I first came on social media about 14 years ago. Now I'm able to share some wisdom, share some information, share some knowledge, share some spiritual sciences, things that people would in everyday life want for me to sit down and really do with them and for them. So nobody have to acknowledge anything of what I'm doing. So here's an example. Let's say we was using females this time. So this was last year. I had some time, and one of the girls, actually a Facebook friend of mine, started advertising that she was looking for some, what do you call those? Admins for a nail group. So I got some time and I was like, well, I'm cool with her, and you have to pay attention of just because you're cool with somebody, that doesn't mean that it will work, y'all working together. So I was like, I can help. Now, this person don't know on the other side of this screen on social media that I am stressed TF out. That I am drowning in my own projects. That it just so happened at the time I'm on the break and I'm not working on certain things. But I still carry the weight of those things. Because although I'm not physically working on them, I am mentally working on it. I am mentally responsible for them. I am mentally holding that weight. Because I know that I have to get it done. It's just that in alignment, it's just that I can't do anything. I'm in patience mode. I can only wait mode. I'm just in sit and wait mode. So she did a DM with the admin she already had and introduced me. So I went in there and I said, well, we could do a raffle and I could do X, Y, and Z. And I brought this to the admin group. None of the admins responded to me. So when none of the admins responded to me, it's just like nothing is going to, I'm not, there's no motion. So the girl who group this is was wondering why I didn't initiate or do anything of what I said I was going to do. So I'm like, when nobody responded or your admins didn't respond, and this meaning it's not going to be a group project, then I didn't feel a need to go in and close the case. In other words, cause I didn't feel a need to have to close the case because they never responded. That was closure in itself. I don't have time for all that. So in situations where I will play my part, I will serve a role, I will help. I can't help if there's help in somebody lifting the whole thing. I'm not helping if I have to lift the whole thing myself. I'm doing it on my own. That's not help. That's physically me doing the thing. That's misusing somebody. That's misuse opposed to using somebody. So when it comes to me, I need transparency, and I understand that some people don't know how to communicate and don't understand why transparency is needed, and there is no communication. If there's no communication, there is no transparency. And if there's no transparency, technically there's no communication, not no real communication, not no open communication. So often, and it's not just females, some people look at the point of what I can do, and a lot of times people be waiting for me to say, oh, I could help or I could do this. They've been waiting for me to do that so they could just dump. And not saying that she was trying to dump, but the fact that the admins didn't respond, to me, that I never offered to put the whole weight of the situation on myself. I offered the parts that I can help with. But when there is no response, that's like what do you call it? Like a little firecracker or a little whatever Roman candlestick that it malfunctioned. It fizzed out. It never blew up. It never got an emotion, like I said. So I may talk this and that about lacking boundaries. I really do have some really strict boundaries. Now, in some situations, I should have had more boundaries. In some situations, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, did things differently. But as an overall person, I have strict boundaries. And like I say, the proof is in the pudding. I wouldn't have accomplished anything, no matter if people think I've accomplished anything or not. I wouldn't have gotten as far as I've gotten without having some real strict boundaries. I have real strict boundaries. And although I claim that I'm a people pleaser, that's just a trauma response with people pleasing. And sometimes in certain situations, we'll go a little too far into certain situations to try to help or to try to alleviate the burdens of others. And that is a form of people pleasing. But as far as my overall personality, I'm not a people pleaser. I don't give a shit. I don't care who get mad. I don't care who's sitting down saying, what about me? I don't give a damn, because I'm not in that paradigm. And I don't put myself around that type of stuff for that type of stuff to affect me. Just like when people show me with their actions that they don't like me or they don't F with me, they don't deal with me, I'm not going to continue to let somebody who's benefiting from a situation keep trying to lure me into a situation that's not healthy for me. And that can potentially be dangerous for me because you're luring me and you're trying to pull me into a situation with somebody who don't like me. And you know damn well that the person don't like me. And although you may like me, you feel some sort of way. You feel envious and jealous when it comes to me. And that confuses certain people because they also like me. I don't have time for that. We're not on this planet long enough for me to try to figure other people's stuff out. We're here to figure our own stuff out. Sit down and go figure it out on your own. I don't care. I don't have to be around anybody. I am autonomous. I rock alone. I don't need other people to make money. I don't need other people to get certain things done. I don't need certain people to validate me. I don't need people for attention. I don't need people to get shit done. Now, in certain projects along the way, I do need help. And then a lot of times, they have people who be sitting in a cut from a low vibration, thinking that they're going to misuse me. And then they try to exploit the fact that I may need something. Whatever it is, I don't need that. Where I'm gonna go through that with you. And the truth of the matter really be, for what I need, you cannot supply what I need. And I had this conversation with one of my male cousins back in 2015. And I kept saying about certain things with people, and they act like they can help or they want to help, but they not bringing to the table what I need brought to the table to produce the project to come out, or the situation, really some money situation, some money action. For me to make that pop and to put that in action, they don't have what it takes, and they can't bring that to the table to offer the help in the. You're not helping me, you're helping the situation. You're going to get paid too, because I don't misuse people. We work together. So instead of them being real and saying that they can't bring anything to the table that needs to be brought to the table, or even if they say what they can bring to the table, then I can't use that. I just can't use it. There is nothing that you could play on me or game you could run in. None of that foolishness that people got going on. And I see the way, being on social media, I see the way the majority of people think. And people think that everybody think like that. Whatever game you running, whatever bag you jumped out of, that's you over there with that. I do not internalize that. I do not personalize what you do. I do not personalize you running game on me as though that's a reflection of me. I don't care. And that's the whole point that people really don't get. I don't give a F at all about none of this stuff. And as far as projects and things that I need help with, I already have people to serve certain purposes. So if I'm telling you I need help, and you may not even tell me ask me what I need help with, and you offer what you can. If you're making an offer to me, you're just telling me that's what you're capable of doing. Well, if that's what you're capable of doing, now that's what you could bring to the table, I respect that, I understand that, but I don't need them services from you. I don't need that from you, because what you're bringing, I have access to something that's more grand than what you are bringing or what you're offering. I have access, and I have the resources and the actual help of who's supposed to fulfill those roles. And they're just sitting back in the cut waiting for their turn to go into action when the project gets to a certain point. So either if you can't help at all and you never ask me what help I need, or what you offer I don't need, then that's it. That's another fizz out. There's no motion. And that's what people need to really get, And I don't care if they do or they don't. I don't care what they're saying about me. I don't care if they're mad at me. I don't care if they don't like me. I don't care about none of that. Run up. It's usually just a bunch of foolishness. In life, you don't know until you ask. And that's why I had to heal and get myself out of the paradigm of codependency. So when somebody's showing me, need it be family or whoever, once you've shown me that I have no value in your life, or you're showing me there's a problem, or you're showing me that you're going to get in the way, or you're showing me that you emotionally can't handle being friends with me, or you can't emotionally handle having a relationship with me as a family member, then now that I'm then healed from that little inkling of codependency, that's not the whole personality. In certain situations, we have certain little weaknesses and stuff like that, and some people take advantage of it. And that means that sometimes you have to go and heal in that certain situation. But it could easily turn into whatever with me. It could easily turn into I don't give a F. So that's the difference between using somebody and misusing somebody. It's misusing somebody to try to throw a whole situation or your whole project or whatever you're doing and expecting that somebody is going to take the whole burden of that whole project, your shit. Your stuff, your project, your issue. And even if somebody, this is just me, I'm cut different, I'm built different. Even if I see somebody who would, even if they shouldn't, I wasn't going to take that whole burden, I wouldn't let them. I'm just cut different.